Welcome my friends, today we'll be making pan de muerto. So come over here, let me show you. Okay, so we are going to start with about less than a quarter of cup milk, warm, and we are going to add some yeast. Our next step is going to be basically dropping all the yeast. I'm using 2 sachets, so that's about 22 grams. Alright, so first thing is that all that milk is supposed to be good enough for the amount of yeast that we have. Supposedly. But I believe it's too little milk. And as always guys, I'm going to just ignore the recipe and add my stuff. So add a little bit more of milk. I'll leave the amounts over here. Alright, so now this means that the yeast is absorbing the milk and the sugar. You can go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of wheat flour. And we're going to mix the whole thing. So okay, maybe it was a little bit more than 2 tablespoons. The consistency we're looking for this is something like gruel. Okay? So it has to look something quite like this. And we're gonna place this on a part that has enough heat for it to, you know, ferment and all that. Okay, so now we have some wheat flour over there, and we're going to add some sugar. And we're going to add tiny little amount of salt. Okay, and finally we're going to add orange zest. Orange zest. I micrograded it, so this is about 1 small orange worth of zest. And we're going to give it a small stir over here. And again, we're going to open the hole. Make sure that the walls are thick enough, or you have seen it on my previous videos, all the liquids are just going to escape. Right, so now we are going to add a piece of butter, and I'm going to start squishing it. At this point I will tell you to get your agua de azahar ready, which is basically, I guess, like an extract from the orange leaf. However, well, the orange, you know. So before I go on to add the vanilla, oh shoot. Okay, there we go. Before we go on to add the vanilla, I'm going to add a couple eggs. Incorporate each one in between, it'll make it easier. And the second egg is in, and now we are just going to incorporate it, break down the yolk so it can mix. Yeah, something a little bit like that. Make sure that the egg yolk incorporates and it doesn't run away through the table or something. As you can see, the vanilla is already there. I added about how much? A tablespoon worth of vanilla. As for the milk, as always, when it comes to liquids, I don't want to give you a specific amount, because it always ends up not being that amount. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add little by little, as you can see here, and I'm going to start mixing in until it becomes a dough. And yeah, now I come to realize that this would have been more practical to do in a bowl. But anyways, just keep adding little by little until it kind of looks like this. Alright, so it will kind of look like this. It smells, actually at this point, if you smell your hands, you will notice that they already smell like pan de muerto. So this is quite an enjoyable experience. Again, I don't know if I already said this, but this is my first time doing this, and lovely. So anyways, this dough is sticky, as you can see by the fact that it's sticking here on my little table. And we're going to start with something I have never done before again. So, do you remember that we were fermenting something at the beginning? We're going to add it over here. And as you can see, well, you can no longer see it. Sorry, guys, I'm sorry. It had grown because obviously of the fermentation. And we're just going to add this thing. It definitely does look like gruel. And now we are going to mix this in. I guess this is going to be so much trouble. Yep, can already see this. So there are several ways to mix this in. My recommendation is to pull the dough until it breaks and then just like mix it inside like that. And you can also do the traditional technique that I have shown you, where you just throw this against the table like you freaking hate it. Okay guys, so several minutes have passed. I'm pretty tired at this point, and I want to show you that this is starting to get a little hardened, and as you can see it's still kind of to the surface, so that means it's not quite ready. However, as you can see, it's sticking way less than it has sticked in the past maybe 10 minutes. So that means we are almost done with this. Right, so if you're doing this at home, I'm here with you, bro. I'm as tired as you are. Alright guys, I really lost the idea of the time. I think I even broke my table. So look at this. If I grab it, it no longer leaves residue. So that means it's ready. At last. At last. It must have taken me like 15 minutes. I am starting to think it was because I added too much of the first dough thingy that we made, the fermented thing. And yeah, I believe that's the reason. But I'm quite happy with look at this. I mean, no longer sticks. That's beautiful. So now I'm gonna grease a tray and I'll be back. Okay, so now we're going to grab a little bit of the flour, and this is going to work for the purpose of shaping our first pan de muerto. So it still sticks in your hands, as you can see, but it no longer like leaves residue, so that means this is ready. So we're going to think it, and then we are just going to shape this something kind of like this, I guess, and we're going to place it over here. And now we just grab a little bit more of dough, which is going to be the bones. Take out a little bit, and as I was saying, we are going to roll this into a ball first, and then we're going to roll it over here. Now once you have stretched this enough, you're going to separate your fingers, and you're going to knead with a little bit more of strength, like pressing down, in order to help. Alright, almost there. In order to make the bones, okay? So these are the little bones of our pan de muerto. We're going to lay it on top of this, like this. Guys, look, this is the part that makes me happy. My god, the shape is so beautiful. So now it's just missing one little part, which is supposed to represent the skull, if I did read correctly. So this one goes over here. Awesome. We're going to let each individual piece grow, I don't know, I guess 30 minutes. Okay, so maybe this part is going to be a little bit better looking if you are one of those people that measure things. Me, I just improvise, so this is so beautiful. I'm very tired. Guys, I am what follows the word impressed. Look at the size of these things. I wasn't expecting them to grow this much. Oh, this one There you go, kind of like that. Wow, they grew a lot. Okay, so crap. I don't even know if I should put them into the oven because they are going to grow even more. I guess I'm gonna deflate them if I move them. Well, anyways, so they suffered a little deformation when I tried to move them, but we still have two beautiful panes de muerto. Yeah. So now what I had to do is I put them into the oven for like 5 minutes at 350 Fahrenheit, which is okay. So now, as you can see, I melted butter and I dropped it on top of this, and now the sugar part. So let's just sprinkle this on top of the bread, like there's no tomorrow. Anyways, the butter is going to make whatever needs to stick, and all the remaining sugar we can just drop it. Oh, wow, this is super soft, and it's burning me, but it's super soft. So maybe I need a little bit more of butter on that one. This one lost the shape completely. Okay guys, don't know about you, but this is the moment I have been waiting for. So, wow, this is unbelievably soft. I hope this is not raw. Pray for me guys, let's see. Wow, okay guys, this is crazy because at first when you take the bite it just tastes like normal bread. There's nothing spectacular about it, but as soon as you start chewing on it, it tastes like orange. The vanilla I think is kind of lost, but man, this is awesome. Now, a recommendation I would do, something I would change, definitely, after you put the butter, I think it will be better to just grab the bread like this and dink it into sugar. Because that way you will be sure to cover most of it, if not all of it. Like the way I did it, it didn't stick to all of the surface, so maybe that's something I would change. Another recommendation, well, a correction. I told you guys to leave it for like 30 minutes, 10 minutes I think, to grow. That was wrong. I ended up leaving it for an hour. That's why it grew so much. And maybe if you don't want it that big, maybe 40 minutes is enough, but not 10 minutes. Something else. I had to bake these three at 350 Fahrenheit. I will leave the conversion over here for Celsius. But I had to do so because the first two that I was trying to bake at 372 Fahrenheit or 180 Celsius, they ended up burning. Well, one of them is burnt and it's also raw at the same time, so that's weird. The other one, it's just not burnt, it's just a little bit overcooked. I guess it's gonna be crunchy, at least, I hope so. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Enjoy your pan de muerto. It's delicious, and the best part is that, well, nah, it's a little bit soft. The bones are supposed to be a little crunchier, but it's still delicious, and it tastes like orange. So that's something I had never tried before. Not even, because I don't think this is a recipe that we do in Mexico City. But still, it's delicious.